Recently, I put up a bunch of coins on eBay auction, and some did exceptionally well, well above my own expectations. However, this coin ended up costing me a boatload. It was quite the loss to take. But that's okay, sometimes you lose money on coins. So today I want to do an overview of my experience selling these at auction on eBay, the profit and loss on every coin, and we'll have a look at what it was actually like to sell these coins on eBay. Hello everybody, Backyard Bullion here, and a warm welcome to you all joining me for another precious metal ramble. Now today I want to do a debrief on the eBay auction results that I had for the 6 1-ounce silver proof Queen's Beasts and this 2-ounce silver Apollo coin. It was a very interesting set of eBay results for sure. Some of these did exceptionally well, a lot better than I was expecting, to be quite frank. But some of them actually only just broke even, which was surprising. In fact, I think one of them is a small loss, all things told. Talking about losses, took a big haircut on this Apollo 2-ounce silver. We're going to talk about that and why it's okay sometimes to take a loss. It's not always about massive profits on these things. So lots to talk about. I also want to show the difference. I think there is an observable difference between the graded and ungraded, and also PF70 and PF69. It does make a difference, but is it enough to warrant chasing these 70s to get that extra price? A lot to get through and a lot to comment on, and I'd love to know what you think about this whole process or your own experiences selling or buying these types of coins on eBay. So comment down below, and don't forget to hit that thumbs up button as well if you're enjoying this video. So, ripping the band-aid off straight away, let's show you the results that we had from eBay. So here are all the prices that we achieved. In fact, let's have it on top. Let's have the coins on top so that we can still see these wonderful shiny things. So what I did was I put them up for an eBay auction that lasted 7 days to end on a Sunday evening UK time. Now, there's a whole host of different sort of eBay tactics that one can employ when selling, and all things told, Sunday evenings tend to be one of the best times to look to have an auction style listing ending. And it is, I think, from my own experience, the best time. That's what I've seen. Now, UK time in the evening is, of course, kind of middle of the afternoon for places like the US. And I was selling this on the global market, had it listed globally for international shipping through eBay's global shipping program. So maybe one could argue that I could have had something slightly different in terms of timing to capture a few more of the American buyer market. But I think, nevertheless, some of these, I think the results speak for themselves. The clear winner of the auction day, where is it? There we go, was the pox-ridden Yale. Now that surprised me somewhat because the Yale is not necessarily seen as the most desirable of all of the designs out there, but at a £260 sale price for a PF70, that was exceptionally good. Very, very happy with the way that that one went. I've seen, so if you observe what the other prices are out there for some of these, there was actually a PF69 that sold as a buy it now very recently for $235. There was, I think, been some other auctions that are around that mark for this coin, even ungraded. So it does seem to be a particularly good one to have and to potentially look to sell for profit. Now, if anybody is wondering what the profits are on some of these coins, in fact, I will spell it out for you right now. So actually, we'll have to look back whether or not this was an issue price of £95. I have a feeling that this being 2019 was actually an issue price of about £90 or £85. But across the 10 coins, you were looking at anywhere from the starting prices of £75 for something like the Lion here. I think those were about £75 issue price, up to £95 for the Griffin. And, you know, it's just because silver price goes up over time and the Royal Mint increases their price over time for these proof coins. So generally speaking, on average, you would be looking at one of those two, sort of in between those numbers, if you bought all 10. But for example, we can look at the Lion here, bought at 75, the Griffin bought here at 95. The grading is always an interesting one about what people ask me, how much, and is it worth grading? Do you get more back from your money for these? And the answer for these two situations here is just about claw back your money. Maybe for the Lion we're in profit actually after the fact that we bought it at a lower price. So for grading, it's interesting. At the very start of my kind of YouTubing career, I actually sent this through another YouTuber to grade, and that was fine. I was charged, I think, about £28, I think, for that grading. So 28, you plus 28 to 75, that's your kind of buy price for this. So it's not like too bad. You can see there that we're looking at probably about after postage here, where are we lying after postage, 128, we're looking at around about a £20-25 profit on that coin, which is not a lot when you think I've held it for like 4 or 5 years, but it's still profit. Now, things like the Griffin, I actually self-graded. I sent in for grading myself, and that actually works out a little bit cheaper. It works out at about £25 a coin if you send in a decent number of coins to cut down on the postage costs when you are sending them. So you can see here, 95 plus 25, that's 120. Griffin, 124. The eBay fees, by the way, for all of this were wonderful £1 seller's fees. So we only pay £1 when we sell these. Even for the bank's transfer now with eBay, it cuts out PayPal. That whole thing is just £1. However, there was a sneaky thing that eBay did, which I didn't know about, and maybe it's in the T's and C's. Maybe I should have read the T's and C's more. But for example, the completer coin here, which did very well, £200 for a PF69 completer, I think is a really great result. This is the 1 ounce silver proof completer. So £200 there. It went to an international buyer, which is fine. That's what I listed them as. I actually ended up paying a total of £3.96 worth of eBay fees. And that's because they slap on a extra levy for an international address. Now, I didn't know this, and I think a little bit cheeky. Maybe I should have read the T's and C's a little bit more closely. But, it for some people, it will make all the difference of whether or not you can actually sell these at a profit. Now, really interestingly, though, when you take away these £1 seller's fees offers, which don't come out that often, but when they do, it seems like everybody under the sun starts selling their coins on eBay. It can be quite impractical to sell. So, for example, if we take the Lions, take the Griffin's price point here. So we've got 95 plus 25 for grading. So we're probably looking at around about 120 for the whole coin with grading as well. You then take the fact that you've got to pay, £1 seller's fee. So we'll put £1 there. And then you've got to post it to somebody. Really, you kind of want to be sending it special delivery. Maybe because you're not going to make a profit, you want to send it through sort of signed for delivery. Let's call it, you're going to be a bit skimpy and do just the signed for delivery. That's going to be probably, I can't remember the exact price, but it's around £3.50 for that at the moment. Or if you do send it through special delivery, that's going to be £7.65. So you can already see you're at a little loss if you sell this Griffin on eBay, even with a £1 seller's fee. Now, if you whack on the fact that it was not a £1 seller's fee, you add an extra £11 and some change on top of that. You're automatically at a loss. So waiting for a £1 seller's fee is definitely where it should be, I think, for this. Now, of course, as I said, there are some coins here which did exceptionally well. The Yale, the White Lion, and the Horse, all very profitable. They all have one thing in common, which is that they are, of course, PF70s. They are beautiful in their own right, but the 70, I think, did enhance the cost or the premium that we get for these. And does it add? The question you've got to ask yourself is, does it add more than the £25 to £30 that it'll cost to grade these coins? And the answer, in my opinion, was, I think, yes. You look at some of these other ones, the 69 here on the Griffin. Now, the 70 on the Lion. The Griffin was a 70 grade and still got quite a low price. In fact, one of the lowest of the entire night. That's because it's the latest. It's just, everybody's got it. I thought this would actually perform exceptionally well, being the most popular design. But to have it kind of break even is a little bit of it's not the end of the world, but I was expecting more from it. Now, when you come to expecting more from things, we now talk about the big loss of the day, which was the Apollo 2 ounce silver coin here. Now, this certainly is within, so I would describe this as actually even more of a high risk than modern proofs. Modern proof coins are always a risk. You need to understand that, I think, from your own perspective. If you're looking to buy things like these Queen's Beasts or Tudor Beasts or Great Engravers coins from places like the Royal Mint, they are exceptionally expensive per ounce costs, and they should not be looked at as stacking investments. They are collectibles. They are, you are investing in collecting, basically. And that's what I did with this God's coin. So the first two in the series for this particular release, which was Ares and Poseidon, I seem to remember, I turned a massive profit on them. Absolutely massive profit on them. So I think the first one sold for £970 against an issue price of about £300, I think, from memory. And then the Poseidon, I got about £780, £790, all on eBay, remember, as well, with the £1 seller's fees, all the way back 2018. So I made huge profits on them. So I bought the remaining ones of the series, hoping that they would turn a profit as well. This one, £133 I got for it. Now, I looked at my records. I spent €300 on this coin, which works out at about, I can't remember the exact maths, but about £260 at the time when I bought it. So you can automatically see here we have taken quite the haircut. So we're going to add the £1 seller's fee here. We're going to add postage. I'm probably going to end up sending this by special. So £7.65. So what's that? We're looking at about let's call it 142 with packaging. So obviously that's, well, no, sorry, that's not even right. We've got 133. We've got to add this number here to that. So we're looking at 268 as the total cost of this coin minus the 133. You can see that we're already losing over £130, and that's fine. It is fine to do that. To lose money on coins. I think a lot of people, certainly on social media, will always shy away and hide from any losses that they take. I think it's natural human emotion to avoid the losses. It's like that gamblers. The gamblers will always tell you about the wins. They'll never tell you about the big losses. And that's ultimately what we're kind of doing here. We are somewhat gambling on some of these coins about whether or not they will perform exceptionally well and we'll get the huge results that we want from them and get the massive profits like I had on the first two of these particular coins in the series. That's what I was expecting. But it's okay sometimes to take a loss. Like, for me, I wanted to move these on because they represent cash that's locked up right now, cash that could be used on other things, not just things on silver, things in life generally. There are all kind of things that people go through in life that need to have cash. And, certainly in this world now with the cost of living expenses, it might be important for some people to look to try and sell it. And so I decided to move this on. It wasn't something I have now, obviously the first two in the series of, and yeah, I'm happy to move it on. Am I happy that I got £133 for it and I'm losing probably about that, £133, £135 on it? Well, of course, nobody wants to lose money on these things, but I think at the end of the day, you've got to take it with a pinch of salt and you've got to move on. I think one thing that I've always been quite consistent with on the kind of proof coin side of things for ownership and investing in these kind of things is that you will have some losses within your collection of these types of things. If you buy 10 coins, 10 coins like these Apollos, it might end up being that 2 of them end up being very profitable and the rest, maybe 5 of them will break even, and then maybe 2 or 3 of that 10 will end up losing you money. But the idea is that the gains that you make on some of them might actually end up making up for the losses on the others. So for me, I made such profit on the first 2 that whilst I'm losing money on this, you can rationalize it in your mind to say, yeah, okay, that's fine. So it's all about perspective, but that's a dangerous thing as well, because that's the gambler's kind of, gambler's quandary comes in there. That's the rationale that you might use to justify going for these again in the future. Now, for me, fortunately, I only bought 1. I could have theoretically gone and bought loads more thinking, well, the first 2 did so well, I'm going to go all in on this. And it's about hedging your bets. It's about having that diversity to have that option for everything that might occur with them. So do bear that in mind, I think, for all of you out there. So, final breakdown and results. Profitable on quite a few of these coins. So when you look at the kind of all-in prices for these 1 ounces, you're looking at about 125, I'd say, on average. So you can see that we've broken even just about on the Lion, probably taking a couple of pounds loss on the Griffin. But the Completer, the Mortimer, the Horse and the Yale, all profitable, exceptionally profitable on the Yale. And you can see here, whilst they're not all within the same kind of, same boat here, we're making about £130 on that Yale. That covers the losses on the Apollo. It's all about perspective. And remember, these are my spares within the collection as well. They're not just the ones that I've got. I've still got my perfect set of PF70s and my set of 69s as well. So I'm happy as a collector with how some of these have gone. And I still think and I still maintain that a lot of these will increase in value and price over time. But as I said, these are just burning a hole in my storage in my general collection that they need to move on. We've got a few more actually of some of these. I think the Yale Sorry, where are we? The White Horse and the White Lion. We've got a couple more of those still to go as well. So in due course, I'll be putting those up for auction too. So all things told, what would I do differently? Well, it's interesting. I don't think I would change my grading outlook. I think I would have still graded every single one of them, because I think having the 70s on, like these two, I think are the prime example of the profitability of the 70 grades. If you look out there at the eBay past results for these, the raw ones are around about 120. The PF69 is around about 130, 140 pounds, and then these, of course, up at the 70s. So I think you are just about breaking even if you get a 69, perhaps a small profit, and you're ending up with a really kind of healthy profit for these, all things told. You know, you got to then put it in perspective and say, well, you know, you put this money in, you know, year and a half, 2 years ago, and you're making what, 35, 40 pounds on the Lion, maybe 30 pounds profit on these. You know, for 125, that's about a 20% margin. Is that something that's worth your time over 2 years? I think a lot of people would say yes. It's a lot of work to do it though. That's certainly for true. Would I change anything about the way I sold them? Maybe I would put them at a longer auction. Maybe try a midweek ending. Wednesday nights are supposed to be quite good for people, you know, fed up during the middle of the week and you're sat there at home on hump day, waiting to look to buy something to make yourself feel better. Perhaps that's maybe something to do next time. Maybe we'll try that on the next auction and see what the results yield, if there's any difference. Anyway, that's it from me. I'd love to know your thoughts and opinions on this subject. Please feel free to let me know down in the comment section. And if you would like to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe, then that would be very helpful as well. 70% of all the views on this channel are done by people who don't subscribe. So please remember to hit that subscribe button. Otherwise, that's it from me. We'll see you on the next one. As always, please make sure that you like, share, comment, and subscribe for more.